كلكي دلبي وهرشف كل مال مدي ناهي أزرازك هستشكم نزعمكم يزيشي حالي خلاصكم
Vega kudar keve tevegi خوزی dizi kamdama.
خديكي
Paths. The terror in this film is palatable, and the tension escalates over and over again. We start from a misunderstanding to a complete insurrection. When we're fearing about this woman's life and her baby, and then now we're fearing about this little girl's life. And it just flows and flows and flows as the drama intensifies. Just when you think we're at the climax, it goes further and goes further and goes further. So it just does a great job of that build all the way through to the end. And we hear about the terrors of ISIS, but to see it represented so poignantly, it humanizes the region for me, because I think when we think about it, we just kind of assume worst case. We think about ISIS, we think about this as being so far away, and we don't think about just the day-to-day of kids playing outside, a woman being pregnant, cooking dinner, a father, hugging his daughter, and then their world being thrown into turmoil just like that, all under the guise of religion and a religion-based revolution. The choice to go back for his daughter or to leave her behind was just so heartbreaking, because it shows you the level of fear and the level of intensity with this situation, because it's easy to think, oh, I would have definitely gone back. And what I did love that they did was they show you because your mind first goes is go back for her. Of course you go back. And then they show you what happens when you go back. And I don't even think that they really even dived into the complete terrors of what happened. We can assume that everyone would have died one by one. And it would have been like sacrificing them all to go back versus sacrificing the one. And that's the decision that he had to make at this wheel. You have her mother sitting next to her crying, knowing that, this is a horrible situation. You have her crying out to him, Baba, Father. You have him making the decision. You have everyone else pressuring him. And just the amount of pressure in that moment was just so palatable through the performances. And then to find out this was a true story really hits it home. It just really shows you about the decisions that people had to make in this area. It really just shows you about the full terror that watching this on TV or hearing about it on the news does not even relate to what these people are going through in these day-to-day lives. And, you want to think, oh, she maybe is safe somewhere, but you also understand the terrors of the situation and understand that likely this little girl has dealt with such horrors. And it was great, but it was also so hard to see.
This review is for Paths. I love this title and how they explored that at some point during the film, the alternative that would have happened and would have led everyone in their family to be killed or kidnapped by ISIS. That alternate reality was just too painful to bear, and that informs the decision that was ultimately taken. I also love that final scene where they again have a road that goes into different branches. They face a new bifurcation, and again, it's all about making decisions, impossible decisions in this case, and it's just brilliantly showcased. The shock, the stress, all the feelings that the main character was feeling, but they also touch on other things going on at the same time, and it's just very well done, perfectly perfectly performed, and I just had a great time. And it's just so true that this is a true story, that it's sad, and I hope they find her eventually, and that she's okay. Thanks for bringing this up. I really had a great time watching it.
This is regarding the short film Paths.
Technically, I love the colors in the very opening shot, especially. I just thought it was a really nice opening scene with the set design, the colors, the location, and a really interesting when they got in the truck and were driving. I liked the overhead shot of them driving so you could see both the enemy and them trying to get away. What a horrific story. A very tragic story. I'm so sorry to see that this actually happened and is happening. I mean, obviously things like this are happening. It's just seeing it and then revealing at the end that it was true had a really powerful impact. The people in the story, the actors representing the real life people, were really great. Great acting. Just such a tragic story. I pray that Yova, if I'm saying her name correctly, is well and will be with you again soon. You'll cross paths again very soon. I believe she'd be about 13 or 14 years old now. And what an anguish for this father to have to go through. Really, really hard for somebody. I can't even, hard's not even the right, there is no words to describe what this man went through when his daughter fell from that truck and having to make that decision. I can't even fathom that. And I just pray that she comes back to you safely.
Okay, paths. So I liked how the camera work tracked the characters as they moved from place to place. I liked how they used a family sort of as a guide to tell the story. It's a true story, I understand, but I liked how the family was used to tell the story about a major topical issue being terrorism, and how we can sort of follow them as a family and see how their story progresses. And it just sort of makes the issue a lot more understandable, and it allows you to sort of see it through different lenses, which is very important.
Paths was a really powerful and heartbreaking piece, especially finding out that it's a true story. That being said, I think the actors in this, they made this really difficult story really compelling and really beautiful to watch, and you could really feel that anguish and heartbreak from the father watching his daughter suffer. And I think it's really eye-opening to what's going on right now, and I think it's a really good look into it and really compelling, and it invites audiences to, you know, kind of set aside any prejudices that they have and understand and realize that, like, these are real people and these are real emotions and relationships that you and I might have. It was a heavy piece to watch, but you could still feel the love there, and that's why it made it so much more heartbreaking in the end. It was acted very, very well, shot very well. In overall, like, it came together to be a really, really great piece. And you should be really proud of this. I think more people should see this. It has a lot of potential. Overall, very well done.
Paths was intense, yo. Very effective at, like, it was very gripping. It was very effective at pulling the audience in and not letting them go, having them on the literally on the edge of their seats. Great acting, great cinematography. You talk about pulling at your heartstrings. Very, very effective and emotional. Great story, great job all around. Well done.